A small snake quietly slithered into the bathtub. The woman who was bathing did not panic. Instead, she wore an expression of enjoyment. Her husband was unaware of this. Not until one day, the woman came to the office to deliver food to her husband. Her co-workers admired her beauty, but the assistant smelled a snake-like odor. After the woman left, the assistant asked the man if they kept snakes at home. The man answered no. The assistant said that when the woman had just passed by, he had smelled a snake-like scent on her. The man thought the assistant was mistaken. The assistant's household specialized in snake breeding, so he was particularly sensitive to that snaky smell. He was certain the scent was emanating from the woman. The man thought the assistant was joking, because he was with his wife every day and had never noticed any snake-like smell. The assistant pressed on, asking if there was anything his wife was particularly afraid of. The man said his wife was afraid of roosters. This reminded the assistant of something. A rooster is a purely young creature, and is said to counter snakes and other beings, so he suspected the woman might not be human. The man shivered at the thought, but on second thought, his beautiful wife could never be a snake. The assistant told him to reconsider his wife's origins. The man recalled meeting his wife on a rainy night, learning that she had nowhere to go, so he kindly took her home. They quickly held a wedding. Relatives and friends envied and praised them. The man thought the assistant was jealous that he had married a beautiful wife, and was deliberately provoking trouble between him and his wife, slandering that his wife was a snake. The assistant reminded him again that summer is the season when snakes shed their skin. If he wanted to know whether his wife was a snake, he should check at home for any shed snake skin. This line of reasoning made the man furious. After returning home, the man found his wife taking a bath, while he helped arrange her undergarments. He indeed found a piece of shed snake skin. Seeing this, he became even more terrified of the assistant's claim. At that moment the wife came out of the bathroom. Seeing her husband frightened, she feigned fear, pretending to ask if a snake had gotten into the house. The man looked at his wife's frightened expression, and comforted her while saying that he would have building management come tomorrow to look for the snake. Seeing his wife tenderly prepare dinner for him, he set aside his doubts. The next day, the assistant brought up the subject of snakes again. The man said it was common for snakes to be in the house in summer. He had already informed building management to inspect today. Surely they would catch the snake soon. At that moment building management called, claiming to have found a snake nest in his home, with roughly 100 snakes inside. Seeing the photos sent by management, the nest was under the bedroom bed. The man was so frightened he threw his phone away. The assistant said that with so many snakes gathered in the house, he guessed there must be at least one python among them. The man thought the assistant was accusing his wife, and explained it must be a coincidence. Seeing that he still didn't believe, the assistant asked him one final question. "You and your wife have been married so long," he asked. "Have you still never consummated the marriage?" The man answered no, because every time his wife refused him for various reasons. The assistant claimed his wife's refusal was because after a snake transforms into a human, it is not capable of sexual relations for a short period, so his wife had been delaying relations. After shedding, the snake's bodily functions develop and mature, and only when mature can it have the conditions for sex. That period is also when her body is at its weakest, so she needs to have intercourse with a human to absorb essence. The assistant again urged him to divorce. The man still did not believe. The assistant calculated from the date of shedding that the wife would be at her weakest 3 days later, which would be when she would need to have relations with him. If they did, he would be so depleted he might die. The man still didn't believe. The assistant took out a life-saving box and told him to carry it with him. The man looked at the box in his hand, half doubtful. That night he deliberately tested his wife by attempting to make love. Sure enough, his wife refused again. She told him to wait another 3 days. 3 days later she led him to a place in the mountains, saying her sister also lived there and she would introduce her sister to him then. The man was instantly intrigued. 3 days later, as they walked, the atmosphere felt very eerie. The man planned to turn back, but the wife used the appointment with her sister as an excuse to persuade him to go with her to a mountain cabin, and said she had prepared a surprise. At that moment a small snake crawled onto the car hood. The man screamed in fright, but the wife looked as if she was not surprised. The man thought he would be safe with the box on him. He continued driving for several hours. They finally met the wife's sister. The sister prepared a lavish meal. These dishes were all meant to restore his virility, because the man would expend a lot of energy that night. After eating oysters he drank a cup of medicinal wine. Soon he became intoxicated and groggy. The wife helped him to bed to rest. Unknown to her, the man was only pretending to be drunk. He feigned that he felt feverish and very uncomfortable. While his wife went to wash a towel, he took the box out of his bag to verify whether the assistant's claims were true. When the wife returned, he immediately prepared to have sex with his wife.